All right, let's talk about something we all want. To work smarter, not harder. Well, you're in luck. Today, we're going to crack open the user manual for your brain, using the latest science to find out what true productivity is all about.
So let me ask you something. You ever have one of those days? You're grinding, you're putting in the hours, you're busy from morning till night. But when you finally stop, you look back and feel like you've just been spinning your wheels. You tell yourself tomorrow's going to be different, but it rarely is.
Well, what if I told you the problem isn't you? It's not your drive, it's not your motivation. The latest science is pretty clear. Most of us have just been fighting against our own biology. The real issue is that nobody ever handed you the instruction manual for your own brain. So let's fix that.
Okay, so first things first. Let's diagnose the core problem. That feeling we all know so well. The feeling of being completely and totally overloaded. Man, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? You've been making decisions all day long at work. And then you finally get home, and bam, a whole new list of choices hits you. What to make for dinner, which bill to pay, and all you want to do is just nothing. Just collapse. I mean, who hasn't felt that?
Yeah, that fried brain feeling, it's a real thing, and it actually has a name, decision fatigue. Think of it like a muscle at the gym. You can only lift so many weights before it just gives out. Your brain is the exact same way with decisions. It gets worn out. And listen, this isn't just some vague feeling, okay? It has serious real-world consequences. Check this out. A study looked at doctors over the course of a long shift. At the beginning, they were super thoughtful. But by the end, they started handing out way more antibiotics. Not because the patients needed them, no. It was because saying yes was simply the easiest decision to make. It's a classic case of taking the path of least resistance when you're mentally drained.
Okay, so that's the problem. And it's a big one. But the good news is there's a solution. And it all comes down to one simple idea. You have to stop fighting your brain and start working with its natural rhythms.
And this is where it gets really interesting. It turns out we're not all running on the same internal clock. Not at all. Most of us, actually over half, are what's called biphasic, meaning we get two distinct peaks of energy during the day. Then you've got your classic early birds, the AM shifted folks, and of course your night owls, the PM shifted crowd. So, let me ask you, do you know when you are at your best? Think about it. According to the research, every single one of us has a golden window, about 2 to 3 hours every day, where our brain is just firing on all cylinders. That's your peak performance window. So here's the game plan. First, you've got to figure out your chronotype to find those peak hours. Then, and this is the important part, you guard that time. I mean, you protect it like a fortress. That time is for your deep, important work, the stuff that really moves the needle. All the other little things, emails, the boring admin tasks, save that for when your energy is naturally lower.
And hey, here's a super simple trick that works for everyone, no matter your chronotype. The moment you wake up, get some sunlight. Even just bright indoor light works. 10 to 15 minutes is all it takes to basically hit the start button on your brain's internal clock for the day. It's a total game changer for regulating your energy.
All right, next up, we need to talk about one of the biggest, most persistent myths in productivity. The whole illusion of multitasking.
You know the feeling, right? You're juggling a couple things at once, and you think to yourself, wow, I'm being so efficient. Well, I hate to break it to you, but your brain can't actually do that. What's really happening is it's just switching really, really fast between one task and the other. And every single one of those switches costs you focus and drains your mental battery. And this right here shows you the price you pay. It's absolutely wild. They put people in a brand scanner and had them perform a driving task. Then they added one simple thing. They had them listen to someone talk. And boom, the part of the brain responsible for driving just dimmed down by 37%. You're not doing more, you're just doing everything worse.
So, the takeaway from decades of research is crystal clear. Multitasking is a myth. When you try to juggle complex tasks, your performance on everything takes a nosedive. That's not an opinion, that's just a fundamental limitation of how our brains are wired. Okay, so all of this brings us to the big idea, the principle that ties everything together. And really, this goes way beyond simple brain hacks. This is about a fundamental shift in how we think about performance itself.
I love this quote because it just flips the whole script, you know? We're always taught to think of our health as something we'll get to when we have time. But what if that's completely backward? What if taking care of your health is the investment that actually creates more effective, productive time?
And that is the absolute core of this idea called productive health.
It's not about grinding harder or pushing through the pain. It's about building a sustainable system that works with your unique biology so you can do your best work without all that stress and burnout.
So if we're going to embrace this, we have to change how we measure success. Forget just counting hours worked or tasks checked off a list. We need to measure what really matters. How much uninterrupted focus time are you getting? What's your stress level? Are you on the verge of burnout? How well are you actually sleeping? These are the real indicators of sustainable performance.
And that leaves us with one final thought. What if we just stopped the endless chase to cram more and more into every single day? What if the real goal is to achieve our best work by finally learning to work in sync with this incredible biological machine we're all walking around with? Because when you stop fighting your brain and start working with it, well, that's the real secret to unlocking what you're truly capable of.